Hey, Hey, people. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Sip and Chat with your friends from Relationship Flow. As you see tonight, it's just me and Daryl. We might have somebody else pop in. We'll see. I'm Carissa, Dr. Carissa, and I'm sipping on water tonight.
That's the
It's
best
not one of
thing.
those nights tonight. Got to keep my wits about me.
Right, right, right.
How you doing, Daryl?
I'm doing okay. I mean, all the stuff going on, it's tough. Things are
Yes,
definitely tough right now.
yes. Are they having drills?
Not necessarily drills. From my understanding, she said they talk about it and they kind of tell them what to do.
Okay.
But I think even having drills is kind of traumatic. You
Traumatic.
know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes, it
it's it's
is.
it's it's it's, it's not a. But I mean, kids are thinking about it now. That's what I see. They're really thinking about it and wondering what to do if this happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very scary for children because they don't know if it's going to happen at my school.
Right, right. So and it's scary for parents because
Yes.
just not knowing or just in that situation, parents were outside, police weren't going in, your kids are in there, you're not sure what's going on. Like I know I'm
Right.
in that school. I'm sorry,
Right.
I'm in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yes.
There's
Yes.
I know that I know they couldn't keep me out. Like that would
Hmm.
be very difficult for me to
They have to
stand
arrest
around
you.
and listen. They would, you
Hmm.
know. And I don't. Yeah, it's tough.
Hmm. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is definitely. It's really, really,
Yeah.
really tough.
And I
Um,
understand, and you never know what you're gonna do in that situation. But I remember with the 9/11 thing, I left my job and went to my kid's school, and the school was on lockdown, and they were telling, "Well, she can't go home." I said, "Oh no, she's coming home with me. We are leaving.
right now,
You gonna give me my
immediately,
child? You gonna give me my child?
immediately.
'Cause whatever happens, she will not be in this building by herself or with anybody other than me."
Right.
They let her go. They let her
They
go.
better. They have a whole nother problem. You know,
Exactly.
and uh, and I think that what I would say, especially at a time like this, everybody needs to do some mental inventory
Mhm.
and because this stuff you may not know these things are affecting you. Because I think we had the
Right.
shooting in Buffalo, and we had
Yes,
one in
yes, yes.
I think San Francisco or somewhere in California, and it just keeps happening, and it definitely is wearing on us, right?
Of
Um,
course.
and we're going to feel it. So right now, you definitely need to make sure you're you know checking on your mental, seeing where you're
Yes,
at,
yes.
because it can come out in different ways.
Mhm. Yep, and just because you're not on the scene does not mean you have not been traumatized.
Right, that secondary trauma is real.
Mhm. Yes, it is.
That's
Very much
definitely
so.
real. So,
Mm.
it's tough. It's a tough time right now. But let's get into the show. What we talking
All
about tonight?
right. We're talking about relationship labels. And
Okay.
we've talked about some of these before, but I think we might be trying to come at it from a different angle.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the labels that we're gonna talk about tonight are ones that you could possibly be put in without your consent. That I was thinking about that as we were talking
Mm.
last week. I'm like,
Right.
you could be put into these situations unbeknownst to you or reluctantly.
Right.
So let's start with your favorite. Let's start with your favorite. We're gonna start with let's start with side
The side
John.
joint. That there it is. Ding 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 ding. That is the answer for everything.
So just so you guys know, if you're a side John, you come on and get one of Daryl's t-shirts from his label, from his clothing line. SJNL2. Side joints need love too. you could get one, and you could get a t-shirt or sweatshirt. Be a part of the crew. But we know this is one of Daryl's favorite labels because
Side
he's
joint.
gonna
That's
take it all to the side joint if the main
every
joint don't act right.
right. Listen, she ain't cook. Side joint. She come home late. Side joint. You don't like her outfit? Side joint.
But you know what's so funny? I looked these labels up just to see what's out there. And when I
Mhm,
put inside John, what came up was African American vernacular slang,
mhm.
a
Right.
mistress, a woman, or a woman one dates in addition to one's girlfriend or wife, usually a secret. But
Side
which
joint.
struck me, yeah, what struck me though is that they only talk about women. What about men? Can't men be side joints?
You can't really threaten me with goodness. So, I mean, if I'm getting it, that's cool. I'll be. I guess it's a side joint. I guess. Well, no.
So you saying that some men wouldn't consider themselves a side joint as long as they hitting?
Right. Like that was intended goal. That's our goal. Like you're like, you gonna be a side joint. Okay. Like that conversation goes over well. Like it's not even. I don't think there's even much prodding you have to do with that. It's like, okay.
Mm.
All right,
What
call me
about
whatever
the
you want.
alpha male who only wants her for himself? Would he settle for side joint?
Probably not. But again, see,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that is. So I get. Oh, so she would have to have someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. If she's married or got a
So, but I mean,
living boo.
so you can kind of look at that and again. I can see how an ego could flip that. Like, yo, I got his
Yes.
girl coming out of the house to see me, so I'm still got more
Mm.
power than he does. You know what I mean? He's
Okay.
sneaking to see
Okay.
me. That's it. I'm taking his joint. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I'm taking his joint. I got his main joint. I'm I got her sneaking out and doing all type of crazy stuff. So I can
Mm-hmm.
see how someone could try to flip it when in all actuality they're the side joint.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could work maybe. It don't feel right when you say it. Like the
Ah.
man is the side joint. It don't roll off the tongue as well.
Uh-huh.
Like yo mom like yo fam, you a side joint. Like yeah, I ain't never had that conversation between men. Wait, like, yo, he a side joint like a mug. Like yeah, I don't necessarily
Mhm.
never. Yeah, so it definitely sounds you know better when you think or when you think about a side joint, you would think about a woman.
Mhm. Apparently, because that's how they defined it. Just as a
Right.
woman, it didn't say person.
Right.
Hmm. And then the concept of side join is interesting in itself because it used to just be this my mistress, but I think that the difference is, as I think about it, is with a mistress, you're actually really taking care of that other woman. Side joint, you might just be hitting and that's it. She gets nothing. She doesn't really get your time or money or things like that.
Right, right. Maybe so. I know at times I had the conversation where like you had your side joint. Well, I guess the relationship may move into like she's getting all of that. Like you can't differentiate between the side joint and your main joint. Like you're doing
Mhm.
main joint stuff with the side joint. Like what are you doing, bro? Like why are you making time to
You
be with
fell
the
in
side
love
joint
with
on
the side
Valentine's Day?
joint. You fell in
Right,
love with
like
the side joint.
right. You got two whole relationships now. That's not even a side
That's
joint.
not
Like it's a
side
whole
joint.
relationship. So yeah, so the lines get blurred sometimes. So I think side joints need to have expiration date because after
That should be part
after
of the definition.
you might have to because after so long, that side joint that's your main joint. Like if you had a side joint for 2 years, she's not a side
Yeah.
joint. You got you're in a polyamorous relationship in two homes. This is
Exactly.
two
You've
homes.
invested. Yeah, you
Right,
have
right, right,
invested.
right, right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a full relationship no more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think side joint, side joints should not come with any other benefits other than the penis. That's what if we break that. Now, I know people, they get it out of whack, but a side joint only should get the penis. And she should be sharing the moon Venus. Like that's the only things we should be sharing. Okay. and, and
I
and
mean,
that's
if we're
that
clearer
and
about the definition, then at least the main joint know what's happening. Or he got to say, no,
right.
all she getting is sex. That's it.
Right, right. So your main joint should have one up on the side joint. She's like, well, at least I get dinner and shoes and bags, and you just get balls. You know what I mean? So it should be the main joint should have a little bit. Her status. She should have more status. Okay, that's the main joint should have more status.
Mm-hmm. So that's
because
where
she's the main.
people mess up.
That's where they mess up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're spending time with your side joint on any major holidays, that's another main joint. Okay, you just violated the rules, so you can't even put side on it anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's actually now she's even with your main joint.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to. Hey fellas, look, you're getting sloppy. Make sure you keep the side joint on the side, right? she is only you only see her when you have time to squeeze her in. All right, you don't make time for her. You just fall in like I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's a side joint. When we start planning and doing stuff and going on trips, then you have two main joints.
Mm-hmm.
You violated the side joint code. Your relationship then graduated.
That would stop side joints from sticking around for so long if there was some real rules.
Right. Because once you're giving them too much to stay around. Like you liking them. That's the problem. You're not supposed to like your side joint either.
What?
You ain't supposed to like her.
You're supposed to just want to have sex with her, but not really like her.
Hey, all she gets is the balls, and that's it. If you are giving her any more to attention, phone calls, if you gotta sneak the text her while your main joint's in the room, you're messing up. You're slipping.
Okay. So the rules for side joints: expiration date. Nothing
Can't
other
stay
than
around too long.
Nothing other than the penis.
Done the penis. That's it.
Don't spend any money. Don't spend any more than the time it takes to have sex.
Not even McDonald's. You can't bring nothing with you when you come over there. Like you bring her McDonald's over, it's a wrap. You done brought food. You're starting to change the dynamic of the relationship. Listen. You can't even give her gas money to go home.
Heck.
Side joint. Okay. Side joint should be free.
I wonder how many people would actually go for that if it was that strict. How many people would go for that?
They would. I mean, listen, you got to keep the problem is they do go for it, but you change it by introducing other things. Like she should come over and leave hungry all the time. You know what I mean? She should never be. Her stomach should be growling when she leaves. Like, hey, you need to go some eat.
Dang. Side joint.
I mean, that's a side joint. You feel me? If it's just a side joint, now if you're trying to have somebody as a main joint, if you're trying to compete to see who you want, that's different. But if it's a side joint, should be just the side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it should just be the side.
Oh, and I forgot to mention no holidays.
Oh, absolutely not.
No holidays.
Absolutely not.
Wow. So If you have any intentions of being a side joint, listen up, because the game is about to change.
What game's about to change?
The side joint game.
It can't
If
change.
people start following these rules, the game about to change because you can't come in now and start trying to level up with the main joint.
Nah, the problem is the game. The game is the same. People didn't change, right? They didn't got away from the game. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put you up on game, fellas. Stop giving these side joints power. You know what I mean? That's not what that shouldn't happen. That's the problem. We get caught up in the side joint doing main joint type things. You know, side joint is not dating. Shouldn't be. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be going out to get movies and stuff like that. It's a side joint. You don't get that.
I think a lot of
Shouldn't.
times what happens is the sex is good,
Keep it
and
there.
then you want the side joint more than the main joint.
Well, I don't know. Sex don't equal McDonald's. Sex don't equal holidays. Like, I just want more sex. I don't want to spend more money. You know, gas is high. It's tough for me to come over. Right? Like, so yeah. So the game is.
The side joint will come and pick you up. That's how they roll.
She should pick me up, drop me off. That's okay.
You rough on the side joint.
I'm not rough. These is the game. This is the game. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But we have blurred the game, and this when you have. So it would be if people were more honest with their side joints and leaving it where you're at. It wouldn't be as many times where you have people confronting other people like, oh, I thought, da da da. You wouldn't have that if you had these parameters in place.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't have people thinking other things because again. Once you start doing relationship type things, it becomes a relationship. I had to learn that. I'm like, oh, it ain't no title on this. Just because you don't call it anything, if you're doing, it's like, do as I do. If you're doing things, it becomes a relationship independent of what you try to say and make it. And then that's why, and feelings are allowed to develop because mentally we know, well, if we're going out to eat and we're going to movies and we're watching movies and we're laughing and hanging out with each other, then mentally we know it's okay for things to progress because we're getting closer. Right. Like, I don't want to know your middle name if you're my side joint. I should know much about you because we shouldn't be talking that much, right? Because more conversation builds more feelings.
Of course.
So we need reduce that. You know, it's the only time we talk. Hey, I'm free. You free? I'm coming through to drop these balls off. Hey, that's it.
So the only information you need is a first name and an address.
That's it. Right. And I mean, and if we're just sticking to a side joint type of relationship, if we're into dating multiple people and having relationships, then if you want to multiply date and things of that nature, but I hate when people call them side joints because they're not. You know, they're really all main joints. You feel me? Now, we might want. Like you might have one that live with you or something like, so she got a little more power, but you're doing the same thing with all of them. So the only thing that's really distinguishing them would be, you know, maybe the placement if you live with them, or maybe you like one a little bit more and you hide more from her, but they're all the same. So I don't necessarily believe that's a textbook side joint.
Right.
That's more like you said, the mistress and things of that nature.
I was speaking to a young man who thought he had a couple of side joints, and we had the same discussion that you have 3 relationships.
Right.
Like, no, I stay with this one right here, and that other one, you know, I see her on the weekends. You got 3 full-blown relationships.
Yeah, 3 whole relationships. You know, and I think that's us a way to lie to ourselves to kind of make it not as serious as it is. See, this is side joint. But I gotta make time for holidays, and I got birthdays, and I gotta buy gifts, and her middle name is Gertrude. Like, once you know that, She's not a side joint anymore.
Right. He had signed a lease for one of them.
Oh,
Like,
he a full. Might as well go
he a
ahead and get that
boyfriend.
pilot. Yeah, you're straight full boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 times. See,
Uh-huh.
I blame the males around him for not raising him correctly.
What, they didn't tell him the rules?
They didn't tell him the rules. You know, they said, "Hey, man, what are you doing? You got 3 women. Like that's not what you're supposed to do."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I blame him for that. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
what's the next one we're gonna go with?
Situationship. And I know we talked about this one in the past before as well. Um, so I looked up the definition again, and it says less than a relationship, but more than a casual encounter or booty call. It refers to a romantic relationship that is and remains undefined. So they said it's the space between a
Mm.
committed relationship and something that is more than a friendship.
Oh, got you. That's when you're progressing, kinda. You're kinda like, all right, we're a little more involved. We're seeing each other more, and we kind of broke it off. It's just kind of us seeing each other, right? But we're not
Mm-hmm.
full relationship.
Right.
But we're not like a booty call at that point. We're kind of.
Right.
And now with that one, it sounds like there's some exclusivity there. Did they say anything about that?
They didn't say anything about exclusivity, but they said that you haven't decided to call the person your person.
Mm. See, now I still hear exclusivity. Like it's like
Uh-huh.
we've been dating, we're kicking it on a regular basis. I met your family, you met my family. We're spending holidays together. We haven't officially put a title on it,
Mm-hmm.
but if anybody would see us from the outside, they'd be like, "Are they together? They're like boyfriend girlfriend." Like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
we ain't got no title. So I
Right.
would think
Right.
I'm just wondering if that's more like in that relationship before you get full, we done made that full commitment.
I think it's a way to keep things undefined and a way to escape.
Yeah, right. So
Mm-hmm.
if Beyonce leaves Jay-Z, I can go
Right.
because I ain't really got no title here.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. I think it's a
Okay.
way to not commit,
Right.
but
hmm
you know that person is there for you.
So you're reaping all the benefits of a relationship without actually being in a relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
situationship. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I ran into some of those kinds of people.
Right. And it could be
Mhm.
someone who's a fear of commitment,
Yes.
more of
Yes.
a situationship. Like I like this person, but I don't know yet. Maybe what if they do this, that, or next?
Hey, Sonny.
Hey,
Thanks for
Sonny.
joining. What was that? That
Um,
a greeting, Daryl.
I just looked over and saw Sonny. Hey, Sonny.
Yeah, there was a little different tone in
Right.
there.
When I looked at my screen, I said, "Oh, hi, hello."
Hey, what you go? No Barry White.
Yeah, I had to give it a full Barry White. But I think situationships are big. I think that's where most people lie right now, where they have these
Yes.
relationships that are really undefined. There's no,
Mm-hmm.
formal committing, but they're kind of together until something happens. They're like, well, we ain't together,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
It's one of those
Yes.
things where you have that plausible deniability. So when
Uh-huh.
the other girl, you see something else, you're like, well, we ain't together, just kicking it. Oh, now we're
Mm,
just kicking it,
right.
right? But you got a toothbrush at my house. How we kicking
Yeah,
it?
it's a way to keep the
Got to
door open so that you can do other stuff.
right.
Or like you said, if the person has a fear of commitment
Mhm.
or, have difficulty maintaining relationships, they might say, well,
Right,
we're not gonna put a label on this. We're just gonna see where it goes
right.
while the
Very
other
interesting.
person is planning weddings.
Right. and and I think that's the big problem with situationships. They may be on very different pages. Like one person, like you said,
Mhm.
may feel like, I'm still very undecided. Another person is like, I just bought 3 bags of rice. 3 bags of rice and a broom. Because we're about to get this popping, right?
Yes.
So situationships do, from what I see, leave a lot up to lot undiscussed. Right? There's a lot of things that it could be, and it seems that, and I think both people may. Well, one person may be continuing to say, "What is this?" Another person like, "Well, you know, we're taking it slow." Well, we ain't gotta. It don't have to have no label. You know, like I said, it's keeping that door open for something else. But yet, and still, like I said, you got a full drawer and a toothbrush there, and you got the key to the crib. You know, you got those relationship privileges, but without any of the commitment, the formal commitment.
And I think you're right. Oftentimes, the people are on two different pages.
Right.
You might have one person who's tired of asking what this is, or get scared to ask anymore what this is, and kind of just go with the flow. And the other person has left the door open for anything, so that they can always say, "Well, we're not together," just like you said.
Yeah. Right. First time something happens. You know, very interesting. Okay. What else we got? What else we got with these relationships?
The famous entanglement. Or should I say now the infamous
entanglement. I mean,
entanglement. So what the definition?
What's the definition of that one?
All right. So it says that one partner stands still while the other attempts to push and pull toward the finish line. So the energy is unbalanced, and neither one of the persons is more committed than the other. So in a relationship, both partners are usually committed to moving the relationship forward.
Right.
So it's saying that in an entanglement, there's the imbalance is one person wants to move things forward and the other person is stalling.
So it's very similar to the situation.
It can be, yeah.
Very single, they parallel. I guess a situationship could have that as part of a situationship, and I guess entanglement means that's what it is. Like
I think it is one of the other things that they said that with an entanglement is that it says there is repeated violations of love, loyalty, respect, and safety. So one person, the one who has the most power, is the one who's often violating the other person. So when Jada Pinkett talked about being in an entanglement, I really think she had the right definition of what was going on, because of, and I've only read these things, so I don't know, because I don't know either of them, but he was very vulnerable from what they said. And she had like a real power over him.
Right.
So he wasn't safe in that relationship with her.
Yeah, he was forced to have sex.
Oh, come on. You know what I'm saying.
God.
What young man?
Who wants to be in a relationship where somebody's forcing you to get the cookie?
Oh my goodness.
A nice, beautiful, seasoned woman.
Oh my God. You sound like those people who say that a 6 or 15, 14, I'll even say 16-year-old boy having sex with a 30-something-year-old woman is okay. Don't say nothing. If it's not going to be social workery.
I'm going to say there's double standards in the world that exist. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All right.
Double standards do exist.
So I think the difference between the situationship and the entanglement is the power differential.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes sense then. Mm-hmm. That makes it the entanglement. Got you. Mm-hmm. Power that one person possesses over the other. Mm-hmm. Like
And no, she probably, I mean, we know she didn't force him to have sex with her,
No. Didn't.
but he
I
wasn't
mean,
safe
where do you
having sex
sign
with
up?
her either.
Where do I sign up not to be safe at? Is there somewhere we can sign up for that? I don't want to
Oh
be safe.
my goodness, with the double standard.
I don't want to be safe.
I don't want to be safe anymore.
If that's what they're doing now, I'll sign up. I'll take one for the team. Okay, Jada, what do I have to do?
That's a shame, girl.
I'm just saying, but no, yeah, she did take advantage of him at a very vulnerable point.
Hmm.
With but I wondered if even with that, was she at a vulnerable point as well? Was she at the best place or space to make the decision? Either. I mean, because she was going through some things too.
Hmm.
So it could have been, two people that were hurting or in pain that came
That's
together.
possible.
While she was bringing them hot soup to take care of them, she brought them hot peaches.
But I wonder, did they both have the same amount to lose in that situation? He lost a
Well,
close friend, her son.
who cares about her son?
If that was his only support system, and he lost their family as a support system, because wasn't he supposedly hanging out at their house and being
Right,
around all the
right, right,
time?
right, right,
They
right,
were
right,
like
right,
really supporting his journey of
right, right,
healing and all that stuff.
right. I think I would chalk it all up too. I would lose my
Just
friendship
give
with
it all up.
what's the boy name? Whatever his name is, little boy.
August Alsina.
Yeah, August for Jaden Smith. Hey, we don't gotta be friends. We ain't gotta be friends. Just call me Dad.
Oh, oh. Can you
Yeah,
imagine? Oh my
that's
goodness.
crazy. But I get, and that's where I think too. I mean, even the power of just the older, beautiful woman that you see and probably you know loved on TV and things of that nature. That
Mhm.
allure itself has to be intoxicating. Just to be
Yes.
able to say, I took down, this beautiful model esque actress that everyone sees.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm not going to say he was like that. I can see that just driving a lot of things.
Yeah.
But again, like what he didn't understand was the parameters of the relationship. He really thought it was more than it was.
Mhm.
And that's where that power dynamic. She was cool. She just wanted the side joint. But
Mhm.
then I don't know because I think they were doing things together. I've seen pictures of them together out
Mhm.
and about, which again definitely is
Which
going to
made it
blur those
even more
lines.
confusing.
Right, which blurs the lines even more. Because
Yes.
he and see that's the other thing too with somebody like her. I know if you get something like that, some quality stuff like that, you want to keep it. He's like, yo, this is mine forever. Which
Mhm.
shows that power dynamic because I wonder what she was saying in reference to her husband that he
Mhm.
knew about, even if they were split. But I guess you want to believe it. If she probably said it, we're split right now, we don't talk anymore. Whatever she said, he would want to believe.
Right,
You know,
right.
you
Because
you
he
you would
said
want to
that
make
he
that.
had permission, right? Didn't he say that Will gave his
Well,
blessing or something to that effect?
I don't know that, but I know he said his wife never cheated on him. Will says she's never cheated on me, which I guess is kind of saying like, I knew what she was doing. I guess I don't know. I don't
Some
get it,
weirdness.
but there's a lot going on there. It was a
Yeah.
very different type of relationship, which makes the entanglement even more because I think it's so many things that are entangled into it, which makes it make sense
Mhm.
too.
Yes.
There's so many
Yes.
different pieces to that just make it messy. It seems
Yes.
like entanglement. It seems like it's very messy.
Yes. That's what it should have been called. She should have said I was in a mess.
She was. She made a new word
Not
up
an
for it.
entanglement, a mess.
Entanglement. She's like, this is an entanglement. It means messy,
Yes.
real messy, uh,
Mhm.
and then and opportunistic. And I think
Yes.
she was preying on someone that was in her home,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because I know she could have got something anywhere else, but this was in her home,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she started by taking care of him. Yeah, that was really that's a
I mean, that's
um,
like, you know, when you were in your 20s and you had one of your homies come stay at your house and then he starts sleeping with your mom.
I'll be
Like,
25 to life. You mean pop this top off like right? Because it's like that the betray. That's why the entanglement, the betrayal on so many sides. Your mom is
yes.
betraying you. Your friend is betraying you. Um, you know, and they're bringing everybody involved in it. Everybody gets involved. It makes more sense.
Uh-huh.
Everybody, it's entangling everybody. It's just grabbing
Everybody.
like, hey, this your sister's involved. Your mom's, your whole family's involved. Everybody's involved. Will, the husband. So yes, entanglement definitely is messy. We want to stay away from those.
Hmm. Yes, please, people. Stay
What else
away
we
from
got?
entanglements.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with your homies' mothers, sisters.
Mm. And I think that need to be in the definition of entanglement. It's usually it should be close to home.
Yes. Yes.
Close to home would make it give its own lane. If you're like, entanglement is these relationships that are involving, close to your home, like your friend girl or mother, something very close to everybody, where it's like, yo, this is kind of messy. It's overlapping, and you know, um, I think entanglement to
Hmm.
probably lead to somebody getting hurt a lot more,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because like that situation, if you find that out, it's really messy. If say Will was cool with it, what if Jaden really wasn't? He had a problem with it. He tried to approach his friend about it, or the sister, or
Hmm.
there's so many people that could be offended. So that's not even two people anymore that you're really just affecting. You're affecting all these people, and everybody's disrespecting everybody at that point.
Hmm.
Whew.
And I think the one line that they people always say when they get caught up in mess like that is, "Well, you can't help who you love." Well, if you don't put yourself in the situation, yes, you can.
So maybe you can't help who you love, but you can sure help who you fuck. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, I
Good
agree.
point.
Can't help,
Good point.
can't help who you love. You can help who you put your penis in. I know that for sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna agree with them, but we're gonna let them know that we ain't talking about the love part. We're talking about when you got there, when you put your penis in them. That part.
Great distinction.
There we go.
That's the comeback now.
That's it. You're right. I believe you're right. But you can help who you put the penis in. And you can't say none of that because at that point you're right because we can help that.
Mm-hmm.
That does not have to happen, and that
Mm-hmm.
can stop anything. Because I can love you from afar.
That's
I
right.
can definitely love you from afar. I can love you enough to say, you know what, this is not right.
Right.
I can
Right.
love you enough. And so, all right, cool. You can't. But the other things you can. You can.
Mm-hmm.
All those other things do not have to happen.
Mm-hmm. Right. And if you put up some boundaries and stick to them, nobody can convince you.
Nope. Nope. So,
I don't care how they
that
come at you. If you
no.
have that as a value, then you
Right.
would be like, no, I don't cross that line.
Right. Unless they're Jada Pickett and they're like, well, we'll have to.
Just give it all up.
We'll figure. I guess we'll figure this out later.
Even if
What we
it's
got next?
Jada Pinkett. Even if
Yes.
it's Jada Pinkett.
I mean, we're supposed to say you should never do it.
Yes. Yes. All right. Now we talk about the back burner. So back burnering is just what it sounds like. You stay in touch with the person, friend, ex, somebody you want, to keep them interested in a hypothetical future relationship. just in case things don't work out with who you are currently with. So you give them just enough each time to keep them thinking that, oh, I have a chance. So if
or even just to keep thinking about you, right? Just to keep
yeah,
you on their mind, just to make sure you're around every couple of days, maybe once, twice a month. You might call for a 3 day stint, just, talk and disappear, and 3 day stint, just to keep, keep that connection. So just
mm-hmm,
in,
mm-hmm.
just in case.
And we talked about this a little bit in the green room last week, right?
Right, right, right,
About
right,
back
right, right.
burnering and how it might look. Um I shared some of my own experience that got me in trouble with Daryl.
Whew. You guys need to get back to these green rooms. I'm telling you, you're missing a lot in the green room.
But I think that this is a classic case of you might be put in that situation without even knowing it.
Right, 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 right.
Because you might be pursuing someone, but they're, just like, all right, calling you every week or every couple
Mm-hmm,
weeks, and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
knowing that you want them,
Right.
but they know that you're going to still be around, and they're just going to let you kind of sit there until they decide on what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if could back burnering be used to, in the sense we kind of talked about before, where you're getting those free meals, where you can call this person, you kind of know they want you, so you can call them out the blue and like, let's go out tonight, knowing you're gonna go out and get dinner and stuff, because they may think tonight's the night,
Right.
but then you go right after you eat, you go home.
Yep.
So that, so they're always in your pocket. They're always
Mm-hmm.
there just in case. So you'll hit them up when oh, you know what? I'm hungry. You can hit them up, talk to
I'm
them, go
hungry.
out. Right, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry and I don't want to spend my own money. Let me call so and so because I know they'll take me out, show me a good time. Then I can come back home. Problem with back burnering is that you might be setting yourself up, because if the person is somebody that you really like and want to be, you know, and you want them in your life, even if it's not as a partner, then you may lose them by playing with their emotions and their time. So if you're actually in another relationship and you have someone that's pursuing you, then you don't keep them on the back burner because that's disrespectful. What you do is let them know I'm involved, and maybe once I'm out of this relationship we can see where things go. But if you actually have no intentions of even trying to be with this person, you should leave them alone.
Really? Might
Really.
might be bored, so you need somebody to talk to. And how do you
then
know? Like,
then make them your friend and let them know that that's what this is.
what? So I think we have to have all that. That's draining to have all that level of conversation. We'll just talk. If I gotta be like, oh, we're just gonna be friends, like I don't want to have that conversation. We'll just talk, and then if something happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Or if I want something to
Maybe.
happen, or if nothing
Right.
happens,
If you
or if I
want
want
something
something
to
to happen, I'll
happen.
call you. Yeah, just know. If just know you on the roster. Maybe I might call you off the bench. You might not. It's tough because I guess I think sometimes it becomes a back burner just inadvertently, not because you guys are talking and you may talk every now and then, you're not really going anywhere. Maybe it's one of the things where you kind of met and it didn't really go anywhere, but you continue to talk every now and then. But then by talking every now and then, like you are keeping that kind of some type of bond, which maybe could develop into something more down the road if you both are available at that time. So I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that back burner may happen, just you know, because you're bored.
Organically.
Yeah, I'm bored. I'm talk to Gertrude. Hey Gertrude, what you doing tonight, Gertrude? You know. Yeah. So back
But what
burners
if
are weird.
say that again?
Back burners is kind of weird in a sense because I don't know if people like, do you know going into it you want this person just to be on the back burner?
I think sometimes people do.
Maybe. I think it's happened to me like where if I was talking to someone and never went anywhere, and then I met somebody else and I started dealing with them, and we dealing with them, you're happy, and that might fade out. Then you call the old one again, the back burner. You'll call her again, just hey, what did this? And you meet somebody else and you start talking to them. Like they're
Uh-huh.
always just
Uh-huh.
around. And and it's funny. I was thinking about this last week. From my understanding, Kanye West was Kim Kardashian's back burner for years.
Really? I've never heard that.
Yes. So I
Okay.
remember as far back as Reggie Bush when she dated him years ago, that every time they would break up, Kanye would be her like our best friend she would go to.
Ah,
Every
interesting.
time. They said between every relationship she had, Kanye West was always that dude that was always there. They was friends. They were
Hmm.
kicking it. And I don't know if they had any romantic dealings. There was never none said at that point. But then eventually, I think they got together because like, hey, we've been together so long. I know all your secrets. You know my secrets.
Mm-hmm.
We're best friends, and let's get in a relationship. And you see how that works.
Mm.
Didn't.
So
It
okay,
didn't.
so that's why in that song he says, I fell in love with Kim before she was in love with him, or something like that.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right. For my yeah, when I watched something,
interesting.
he was always there on
Hmm.
the back burner. And got
Okay.
to
It
get
paid
to jump
off
to the
for
pot.
him. It
It
paid
paid
off
off.
at some point because he got her
Right,
to
right,
marry him.
right, right, right.
Hmm.
And so now, I think some guys are, we'll say back burners. 'Cause I know guys who want a girl and they'll continue to kind of, hey, how you doing? And reach out, reach out, reach out, hoping that that'll change one day. So I think
Mhm.
guys a lot of times become back burners or are back burners. They know they're reaching out because they're hoping that this time will be the time. This time,
Mhm.
this time I call will be the time. Um,
Mhm.
or hey, any woman, if you get that random text, hey, how you doing from somebody you talk to, you're a back burner. Okay, we'll let you know.
Pay attention, ladies.
Pay attention. He ain't just texting you to see how you doing. He don't care how you're doing. Okay, we don't care how you're doing. That random text is to see what's up. We're trying to see what the response is, to see
Mm.
where this can go. Or if there's a response at all. Now if there's a response, you're like, yes, okay, she's available. Let's see, keep talking, and then you see what can come of that. But that
Mhm.
random text after 2 months, 3 months, if he ain't seeing you, he wasn't thinking about. I was thinking about you. No, I wasn't. I was thinking about a whole bunch of people. I put a whole bunch of texts out, and I'm trying to see who can reply.
Oh. Huh. Okay. That's good. Ladies, pay attention. This is good information.
Oh wait, my phone blowing up. It says stop telling our secrets. I'm sorry. Delete this. I was joking. I didn't mean it.
Mm-hmm. Cheryl dropping gems tonight, helping the
Listen,
ladies out.
hey, if you think you're that important that somebody's thinking about you after 2, 3 months, you fool. You lie to yourself. The devil lie. You thinking about
You
what he
are
can do to you.
you are the back burner, and they
Right.
are just checking to see where you are right now.
Hey, checking your temperature. What's the temperature over
Mm.
there? You know what I mean? See if you muy caliente for the night.
See if you're ready to become the side joint.
Listen, trying to move up from a back burner to either an entanglement, situationship, side joint. What you trying to move to? We trying to move you off the back burner. Okay, all these things stem from the back burner. Right? You go from the back
Mm-hmm.
burner to one of these main three. Because usually a back burner, you're not having any sexual activity.
Right.
So back burner
Right.
is that I'm trying to rekindle something that has happened, or trying to be the spark for something to happen that I've been thinking about for 3 years now since I met you, and you see if we can get it popping, popping, right?
Or just want to keep you on the roster in case I need to fill a void at some point.
Well, this is the only thing. I don't know if men regularly reach out to random joints to keep them on the roster. I just don't know that to be so. I think I might reach out because I don't have someone or something to do at that time. So the random call is usually because I'm bored that night, or the main joint is not there, or something like that. I don't think I don't know it to be where you just like, I'm gonna keep this constantly. I'm gonna keep somebody, calling somebody to keep them on the roster, right?
I know women do that.
Women might, like I said, women can do that because we're, they like I said, we want to eat women. We're going to call you to hang out because they're going to come because they want you, right? That's when you know the power, the value you have. So you're going to use that, to get that meal or go out for the night or whatever the case may be. So that makes sense. I can see women doing that because men are going to come. Because again, if a woman calls you out the blue, same thing. I know what she wants. Hey, how you doing? Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I think if I get an out of blue text. How you doing? Ding, 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 ding. You want some ding, 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 ding. I know it. You're not just calling to see how I'm doing, to see how I'm doing.
That's funny.
Right. I can't see a woman just thinking about me so much that she just wants to say hi.
It depends on what value you hold for her, because I know that some women, I won't say a lot of women, some women have a roster of players that can do things. So if you're the one that has the skills to fix the water heater and the water heater's broke,
right?
Ding, 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 ding. Hey, how you doing? I know I haven't talked to you in 6 months, but what you doing tonight? My water heater's broken.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do you and your water heater. That's what I'm gonna do tonight. Both y'all getting done.
So women may back burner men that can do things.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, and it's so different because women categorize men in many, like you said, the plumber, the mechanic, the person who's gonna feed me, right? The feet rubber and go home. Like you guys have all these things. We trying to split the peaches. One category.
Who gonna get the ding ding? That's it.
Who gonna get a ding 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 ding? Right. It's not much of a I don't think we're calling, because we're not really calling a woman to fix anything for the most part, or come over and cook. And if anything we're calling you for, it ends up with hopefully some penis in you. Like that's what the goal is. I don't care what we say. All you hear is, I want my penis in you. I want my penis in you. Like, hey, you want to come over and watch some movies? I want to put my penis in you. Just hear that. Like, whatever they're saying, it translates to.
Oh, that's so funny.
I want to put my penis in you.
It makes me think of like the Charlie Brown.
Right.
So, ladies, every time he called, make sure all you hear is, I want to put my penis in you.
That's all you hear. Don't all the other stuff he said. Yeah, I was thinking about you. Yeah, maybe we're gonna get something to eat. We're gonna get the movie or something. We'll check it. I want my penis in you. I want my penis in you. I want my penis in you. By the end of the night, I want to put my penis in you. Like that's what you hear.
So they're not saying anything else.
Absolutely not. And again, not all, but I'm saying for the most part, I can't see, what are they calling for other than something like that? I just don't, I don't see it personally, We're just set up differently. We're made differently.
Oh gosh. So many gems tonight, ladies. Daryl's gonna be kicked out of the men's club.
Yeah, yeah. They just blocked and deleted me. I'm out. They just blocked and deleted me. I get my card back.
He's like a magician out here telling all the secrets.
Telling all the secrets. Cheat
Oh,
code. I gave up the cheat code. What else we got?
hilarious. That's all I have.
So so I guess when we have the I guess with the side, I was reading something about just straight sexual relationships or what I would call side joints, where you just need for sex. That's it. That's all it is.
That's the kind of side joints you like.
I mean, that's the definition. It's not what I like. It's the definitions. Okay, I stick to definitions.
Okay. So the other men, the other people out here doing it wrong. Y'all doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, again, if you're getting in trouble, or like I said, if my man was arguing with the side joint, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, how do you argue with the side joint, bro? That's the piece of purpose. Like I said, you have two women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if your side joint is frustrating you, she's not a side joint, and she's not even doing her purpose. Side joint is supposed to be something where you can go to relieve some stress, have some peace, But if you arguing with the side joint, then you might stay home. Like, why argue with two? I don't even want to argue with one. Why argue with two? At that point, if you're arguing with the side joint, expiration date. That's what you gotta learn. It expired. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
What's a good expiration time for side joint? 6 months, a year, 3 months?
So again, it all depends on when you start doing extra things. When you start giving them privileges of a main joint or even a situationship, like once you start doing any of those type of things, it kind of changes. It needs to stop. Unless you're ready for that to progress into another realm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And at that point, I think a conversation needs to be had. Because anytime you talk to your side joint, it's a problem. So if you're talking to her, it's a problem. So once you start to like,
if you talking to her at all, it's a problem.
If you're talking to her, you got to have deep conversations other than like, what's the weather? You guys need to sit down and start defining these things. At that point, again, you have a whole nother relationship. So you need to stay away from that. You need to. I think with all these outside the back burner, there needs to be conversations about what or how things are going to look, which will make a lot of difference. These a lot of times the problem with these things are their relationship labels, but no one's using any communication to determine what that relationship it really is, right? I think if you want a side joint, you should let the joint know, like, yo, this is what it is.
Right.
If it's a situationship, like, look, we're gonna let them know what it is.
Yes.
Because one thing I do see is that people are. They're just there, and it doesn't have any definition. And then when something happens, you try to define it, but that's when everybody's feeling hurt.
Right.
Like, I ain't with you. What you mean? Why would I take you anywhere? You a side joint. She should have knew that. At some point, you got to let people know what it is. I think it's only fair.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's only fair. And I think if you're, especially if you're having sex, if you are not mature enough to have these conversations, then you don't need to be having sex.
That's right.
I definitely think that we need to, almost like a license to have sex. Like, if you're not mature enough to discuss what type of relationship you want or where you're at in your relationship. And again, I don't think anything's wrong, but if you like, look, right now, I really like you. I really don't know what it is. The situationship, cool. Boom, that's what it is. Because this way, both people are at least on the same page as to what it is. They may want different things, but at least you're on the same page. And I think I think feelings won't get hurt as much if you could be more honest about what it is.
Yes.
And if you are honest about what it is, I think then it can progress maybe because we both know where we're at. No one's thinking anything different. and then maybe people can move a little differently to make it either go forward or backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have the option. It's a situation shit. But now you have the option. So you know what? I don't want to be part of a situation shit. I'm just going to fall back.
Mm-hmm.
And then now put you on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you want to get it together, hit me. You feel me? I'm not mad at you. I just don't. That ideology is not cool with me. So I'm going to fall back. You're on the back burner now, right? And and it can move into different directions. But that's all through communication. And I think that would help any of these relationship labels, styles, or whatever. It would help it out so much if we could just voice these things.
I think that's the key. Being honest up front with what you want. But you know what? It's so hard for people because they often don't know what they want.
Again, this is why you shouldn't. We need a license for these things. If you don't know what a relationship is, you shouldn't be able to get in one.
That's right.
If we meet people at this point, if you meet someone, you should be say, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. And I don't want that. I don't want the Disney. I want somebody to go on trips with and take walks on the beach. No, that's so general. Let's be more specific, right? How somebody should talk to you, how you want them to hold you, how you want them to walk next to you. These things are what people need to know. If you don't know these things, don't stop being in relationships. Stop trying to be in relationships until you can define what you want from a person and how you like things, because that'll make things a lot better, right? We can build off of that, but I don't want to hear white picket fence in a house and I want 3 kids and like, no, that's Disney. We got to stop living this Disney way of life. That's not the way to go.
And the beginning, I tell people all the time, the beginning stage is when you first meet somebody. That's the easiest time to tell them what you want. It's the easiest.
Right.
That's when you can be the realist. That's when you can say, look, I want this, and this. And if you can't do that, then you don't get invested. Talking about, oh, he don't do this no more. She don't do that. They didn't know that's what you wanted. This thing has just kind of been coasting along.
Right.
Now you're making up rules and stuff as and you already in it.
Right. And it's so crazy because I feel in the beginning is when people are just lying at this point. People lie in the beginning. They want to put that face on. They want to be something they're not to impress you. And then it's like, okay, cool. You got me with this impression of yourself, but down the road, you can't meet up to that. So it's going to fall apart.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like once you got a Bentley body, but it's a Corolla, motor. It's going to, when I hit the gas and really try to push it, you're going to see that this ain't what it's supposed to do. So like you said, it's really important just to be as honest as you can be in the beginning, because if someone doesn't like anything about you that's honest,
right.
You might as well keep it moving.
Yes. And you're not invested. Yes.
Hey, no hard feelings.
Yes.
Cool. Right.
Yes.
I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't like this. Cool. I'm good. And we both can leave, and like I said, there's nothing that's really tying you together at that point. But like I said, if people knew, if they can get out their dirt in the beginning and someone can accept that and push past it, you're good.
Yeah.
And sometimes I know for me a couple of times where dirt came out a lot later than the beginning, and that ended it. If it came out in the beginning, I'm like, okay, cool. But it came out later. The problem with I feel later sometimes is that it's like especially if you had conversations and people are omitting things and don't really talk about them, then why not be who you are? Because like I said, whatever it is, I need to know now so I know what I'm dealing with. Let them know what they're really dealing with.
Yes.
And that, like I said, then down the road, you can't ask me to bring you flowers. And I said, oh, damn, I was going to bring you flowers in the beginning because I thought that would get you, but I really don't do that. So you won't keep up that tradition because it's not really in you. Fellas, stop doing stuff to get it. And that's the problem. I think the problem is we do so much to get it, and it's all just to get it. So once you got it, it's like, oh, I'm not buying flowers no more. I got it.
I don't have to buy flowers.
I got the milk. Why buy the cow?
Right.
But that's real. So I would say whatever your level of engagement is should be consistent to whoever you are. Right.
Of course.
Do what you do. And then if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But the problem is when we do things that are outside of our lane, we don't. We once we go back to our regular lane, it's not that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that can't be sustainable. And it's okay for that other person to feel like you changed.
Yes.
Right? You can't get mad at them when they say you changed. No, I didn't. You did.
Yes, you did.
Because your representative. Can you call your representative back, please? Can they come back? Because I like your representative. I don't like you.
False advertisement, trickery, whatever you want to call it. Yes.
101.
Yes.
I definitely think, but I think that's because there's so much emphasis on sex. That's the goal for. Well, I'm saying for men. I don't know about women, but I know a lot of times when men go out, the goal is sex. No, a nice time is we had sex. Like I had such a nice time, and we have sex. I don't know how it was a nice time. He really had. He could have had a better time if.
So the woman is, we went to dinner, we walked on the beach, we talked about our families and what we want to do with our lives.
Right. So
the
I think
like, we had sex.
Right. So I'm about to say this is the kind. I don't know. So when you go on a date after a date as a woman, you talk to your friend. What do you talk about?
That's the stuff you talk about. He was such a gentleman. He opened the door for me. He told me stuff. He said he's telling me stuff that he never told anybody else. And we talked about our families and what we want. He wants to get married and have kids one day.
Right. So our conversations are more like, yo, son, you hit it? You feel me? Yo, how was it, son? You hit it? Like all that other stuff.
Hey, how you doing, Celine?
She tagged somebody. Yeah. So for the most part, like I don't know. I haven't had a conversation with yo, bro, like how was it? Like, what y'all talk about? What? Wait. You feel me? Like he was like, yo, she had a fat ass. Like, yo, son. It's a very physical conversation. Physical.
Well, that's a huge difference.
Right. Like some was she, like how she look in person, like first time how she look. She looked good, or she was ugly. Word, did you hit it? It's always gonna go back to no matter what it is. Did you take it down? That's all that really matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for women, you might have that discussion with like a really close friend.
Okay.
They might ask you, did you let him get it?
Right.
But
that's amongst a lot of other questions you're saying.
Yes. That's not the only question.
Like, she was really nice. Like, we don't. She was really nice. She said thank you when I pulled her seat out. Like, no, we're not worried about that. We just want to know. Did you take her down? Like, all right, you didn't take her down that time. Take her down next time. You think next time? Like, yo, next time, yeah.
Why is that so important, Daryl?
I think because sex has is weighted so heavy, right? I think society teaches men to go get it, right? Women are supposed to not give it to you, and men are supposed to get it. Oh, you're a hunter, get it. So that means that's what you're supposed to do. Like, and everything we do, that cologne we put on that night, our car shined up, is all, hopefully that's enough to help us to make you spread them cheeks and get them clapped. You know what I mean? Thunderclapped.
So they can't just, they got to be clapping.
Nah, we're going to thunderclap that ass. Like, and it's tough because growing up, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. It is pressure because that's what it is. It's, when you meet the person, you want to be successful. You want to take it down. And it becomes like almost a learned innate. That's what happens. You want to have sex. I don't know many men that meet women and be like, I just want to get to know her. Like, no, you want to get to know what she look like naked. That's what you want to get to know. Like they say they want to get to know you, but you don't let them finish. Like, know what you look like naked. That's what they really said. And and then it's like after you do that, then you decide what you're going to do with them. You know, after you have sex, then it's like as soon as as soon as you do that, you're like, I don't think I really like her.
So
Or,
is that part of the rush to have sex because that helps you decide?
no, I think that it's like the anticipation, right? So you're anticipating because you have your goal, your mind set on something, right? But
Mm-hmm.
after you do it, after you get it, the anticipation is gone. So now you
Mm.
can really see what you're looking at more clear. You can see it more clear. Like everything, soon as you do that, like everything is clear. Oh,
Mm.
like you start remembering things they said or things they did. They may even look different after you have,
Wow.
after that time. Um, uh, and it's weird, but that's almost how society trains men. Um, like I said, men are trained to play sports and stuff like that, but they're not really raised to know how to date. They're not raised to learn what a
Mhm.
relationship is. This is why we have
Mhm.
all these weird relationships because
Mhm.
you're not really taught that. No one sits you down like, hey, I mean, they generally, oh, you're supposed to be nice, you're supposed to open doors, but outside of that, they're not really teaching you how to be with a woman. You know,
Mm.
um, how to maybe listen to them or talk to them or ask them what they like or want. Or that's not really taught. So the
Mhm.
only thing that I know is really, that I see, and this could be anecdotal, is that sex is the goal.
Mhm.
Sex. Like I said, when anytime you're out with a girl, your man is going, yo, did you hit that? You know
Mm.
what I mean? That's what the first thing. Yo, that's either are you hitting it, or if it's the first time, did you hit it after? That's
Mm.
usually how the conversation goes. It's always surrounded by sex.
Mhm.
So, but that's because it's such a high price on sex.
Mhm.
Not, but it's value.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Is the value of it is very high, so we want to get it. To say we got it. Then once we got it, we're like, uh,
So if
on
you
to the next.
define the relationship up front, could the sex change your definition? Like if you go
Absolutely.
into this thinking, all right, this is just gonna be a situationship, or this is just gonna be a side joint, and you have sex, it can change.
I think so. I mean, I don't think that I don't think a relationship starts until you have sex.
Huh? What?
I don't care about what you saying, all that nonsense, because sex is the goal. So it doesn't really start.
What about for people who don't have sex until they get married?
They're in trouble. They stuck. They're stuck because once you have sex, I think things change, man. I don't know. I think things just change after you have sex. I don't know. It just seems like it does. It's not real. It's not real till you split the peaches.
Oh my gosh.
Like I really like her. I think. You hear it yet?
Okay.
No, no, I didn't. No, you can't. You can't like her. I'm just saying. I just think that.
That sounds like it would be very confusing.
No, listen. Sex is really important. Like, and I don't know. I wish we had some women to write in and some men to write
I
in.
know,
After
right?
you
Yeah.
after you have sex, does the relationship change?
Hmm.
Whatever that relationship was, I feel like it changes after you have sex. After you do that, you know, being together like that, it changes things. The next day is different. I don't care what it was before.
Hmm.
Once you lay
So
down with
the
someone
change
like that,
happens depending on how good or how bad the sex was.
it definitely could. I mean,
Mm.
I heard people say that somebody had bad sex and they were done. Like,
Hmm.
girl, he was cute, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, yes,
I can't live with that all my life.
that's
Had to
true.
let him go, girl. It was hard, but I had to let it go. Like,
That
so
is true.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes, I
for sure.
do. I do. You hear those type of things where, um, certain things are off or it wasn't, and it may end the relationship because it just wasn't good. So that I
Hmm.
think on both sides, sex is very important. Too important sometimes. I think it's
Yes,
too heavily weighted to the point where, like
yes.
I said, I think bad sex could end a relationship, or after that sexual encounter, you may feel this person was weird or did something you didn't like, or and you'll be done.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and they could have been great before that. Could have had a great
Hmm.
relationship. Oh, we were great communicators, and this person is great, and they're my person. And, ooh, I don't like that. That wasn't good. Yeah, I
Hmm.
got this. Hey, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Now you have a conversation about why it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're making up stuff about why it's not going to work.
Right, right. I could
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
you could be in that almost situationship, have sex, and then be put back on the back burner.
Hmm.
Like, oh, you were good. They can talk well, and dinners was good, but sex wasn't that good. So now they're kind of pushed down, and you talk to them,
Hmm.
but not, like, all right, maybe we'll try again.
Uh-huh.
Let's go out, and so you pull them off the back burner and see, like, oh, it's bad again. Back down there. So they're not necessarily a bad person, right?
Right, right,
I really
right.
like them, but I can't.
Mhm, mhm.
I can't
And
do
it
it.
could go the opposite way too, which is
Oh,
what
absolutely.
you see with men. If the side joint got better sex than the main joint,
Mhm.
then you can see the side joint leveling up.
Well, maybe because still, if the other one had, like she held the house down better, she
Mhm.
held you down better. Those qualities will still outdo the side joint,
For a while
but
till the side joint gets the opportunity to try those things.
but she might not
Because you
have it.
going to
Like,
the side joint house every weekend, she cooking dinner. Her house is clean. She's,
right.
she taking care of you while you there. You came to her house with a cold. She made soup. Yeah.
Side joint tricks. That's what I call them because that's usually not sustainable. Like, that's cool in that little entity when you have it outside, right? Because
Mhm.
you're only going there to eat and do the good things, but she may not have the other qualities, which may be time in that you have with your main joint, but your
Mhm.
main joint gonna be there. Side joint, all right, she cooking clean, she take care of me on the 1 day or 2 day I'm over there. That's a side joint trick because she don't have the time in, that the main joint has, where you can depend on the main joint. I know
Mhm.
I can depend on her. That's
But
why I
some
think
people get
sometimes
it confused and think
they
I could
do, and
depend on
that's
the
when
side joint.
they leave and go to the side joint. Then they all messed up. Now they have
Yes.
no joint because the
Yes.
side joint couldn't. She can't pay her bills. You didn't realize you were bringing the food over that she was cooking. She ain't got no food in the house. Uh, You feel me? Like, she only had to clean up Friday night because she knew he was coming Saturday. But
Right. Right.
Sunday through Thursday, the house is crazy. You know.
Side joint
So
tricks.
side joint tricks. That's why you can't. Don't let them start cooking and stuff for you. Like, nah, I'm good. I ate yesterday. I'm good. I ate yesterday. You ain't got. I ain't got to eat every day.
No, you
Don't even
tell them,
fall for that.
no, my joint cooked for me. I'm good
Right.
on that front.
Right, and that's what you should be able to tell your side joint. Like, hey, you can't burn like the main joint, but the peach cobbler better. But that's it. I mean, I gobbled a peach cobbler up, but that's it. I just come here for the peach cobbler. So, yeah.
Yeah, but too many people fall for the tricks.
They do, and that's again where we just um, are not disciplined enough, or even know enough to distinguish these relationships. So people run around talking about they got sides on, and they use all these terms usually wrong.
Yes, yes.
Like Jada Pickett, she used her term correct, right? She used her thing right on point. Most people will
Mhm.
say it's a side joint or a back burner, and it doesn't be that because they're
Right.
blurring the lines.
Yes,
And I
yes.
guess it's human nature, kind of, or this lack of really knowing. But that's why things get so messy. I believe things would be a lot more, would not be as messy if we just would say what we want.
Yes.
Right. And it's tough. And I think people respect you more. Like we meet that girl, like, look, I just want to, I just want to make a clap. They might respect you more than you trying to woo them just to make a clap and leave, right? Just up front, you should be a little bit more.
Yes. I mean, because there are plenty of people who would go along with that.
Right. Or even be honest, say, listen, I'm not sure what I want, but I want to get to know you.
Yes.
Like don't lie or present yourself as wanting something that you don't. That's my issue. When you start doing that, you're saying you want a certain type of relationship when you really don't. If you're unsure, I would rather you say that and give that person the opportunity to say, okay, I can get down with this, or no, I'm not getting down with that because I'm not, that's not what I would want. I don't want to, I don't know. I want you to tell me the truth relationship, whatever it is, whatever you want at this time, let me know, because we can grow either together or apart. We know that can happen. We know that, right? But at least just kind of be honest in the beginning instead of telling me you want to be married or you want all this type of stuff, and then you don't really want it with me.
Right.
You just want my doggy style.
So you open to that door, the woman just walk up to you and say, "Hey, I just want some doggy style."
What time free?
When and where?
So yeah. So listen. I mean, but and that's the difference between men and women, because a woman can walk up to most men and say something like that, and they may accept. But a man walk up to a woman, she's like, "Get out of here! I got a whole bunch of back burners already."
Or we laugh at you. I mean, I remember one time I was in the club with my girlfriends, and a guy walked up to me and said, "I want to eat you like ice cream," or some craziness. Just laughed in his face, like, "What? Really?"
Well, you should have. I'm like, does that work?
I'm scared about where your mouth might have been.
Right.
How many women you said that to tonight?
Well, first, sir, show me how you eat ice cream, because I don't know how you eat it. That wasn't appetizing.
Right. What?
I'm lactose intolerant. What are you even talking about ice cream for anyway?
So yeah, I do think that men get a different response than a woman.
Right. Absolutely. Women have a whole bunch of back burners just because they're women. You always have a man probably that's trying to, and again, a lot of times we put ourselves in that position. It's not like you do it, but we keep calling, and you will entertain it if we call sometimes, and sometimes you don't. But again, that's us fishing. Hey, how you doing? Just thinking about you today.
Oh,
see that response. Oh, yeah, if we get something like that, yes. The response, oh, that's sweet. It is sweet. Then you really lay on, hey, girl, so I got these flowers, and I'm thinking about, we want to have a dinner. We just leave out the end penis part. Leave that out.
Can't forget about that.
Right. That's always left off the menu.
That's what you gotta hear.
Yeah, I would. More men should just say, "Look, I'm trying to feed you and then hug you."
I mean, the honesty would be nice.
Right.
I think most people prefer the honesty.
Right, and you know what? She could say, "You know what? Not tonight." I mean, okay, cool. Well, let's go out. Like, we're both being honest. Like, it's crazy. As adults, we should be able to have these conversations. I really say, if you can't have these conversations with the person, then you don't need to be having sex with them. If you can't talk about what you want, your needs, and things of that nature, you can't say those things, then you guys shouldn't. I hate hearing conversations. Well, we can't talk about that yet. But you want to have sex? Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, you need to be talking about these things.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's like so backwards. We want the be able to do the activity without the responsibility.
Yes.
And it's like, it doesn't make sense. And that's why I think we have so many problems.
That is why.
Right. Everybody jumping into something, not knowing anything about the other person, really, not knowing even how to begin to satisfy them because you don't care because you're thinking about yourself, or you think you're so great, that you're good. There has to be more conversation around these things. We need to get to the point.
True.
Yeah, we need to get to the point where we can just really converse about this in a way that we can all be satisfied. I think people may stay longer if you guys can really talk, and know what makes each of you, whatever you're looking for. I don't know.
Yes. I was talking to a young woman who had a sexual experience with someone and it wasn't good. And she did what you said. All right, I'm gonna try it again. And it wasn't good again. But she doesn't want to talk about it.
Right.
And I'm like, so you're just gonna keep having sex and build up this resentment and make it his fault.
Right.
But you need to have that discussion to let him know, this was not good for me. And this is what I need. Can you do that?
Right. I would ask her, if you saw a hole in the ground and there was money on the other side of it, would you just keep walking into the hole and falling? No, eventually you're going to fill that hole to get to the other side. So you can't keep doing the same thing expecting something to change. At a certain point, you have to do something different. I don't care if it's, to the left, whatever it is, whatever you got to do to tell this person, to alert this person to what your needs are, do that. And also ask them what their needs are, right? So it can be better for both. Hey, what did you like? What can I do? Whatever the case may be, if that conversation makes everything 10 times better. It's so crazy. That conversation will make that activity just a better activity for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Everybody.
As you get into what we talked about, that unwanted consensual sex. We talked about that a few episodes ago. That's the risk you run.
Right.
Getting into a situation like that where you're doing it, you're saying yes, but you really don't want to do it. And you're miserable.
Right. And you shouldn't be miserable.
No.
No, not at all.
Not at
all. Be miserable. Or even, and we didn't talk about like the poly relationships and like, sister wives and I don't know if there's, I guess, brother husbands, I don't know, whatever it is.
Brother husbands.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I think those relationships have to have a lot of dialogue around them.
Of course. Or they should.
Well, they should, right? Because it's a lot of moving parts, literally. A lot of moving parts with that, and you would have to define what that looks like, or you should. Now, if you're getting into those relationships, not having any real definition of what it's supposed to be outside of you think it's just something where it's a sexual thing, then there's real problems. There's real problems. I don't know enough about them to really speak on them because I think it's a lot of work. I think a relationship's a lot of work.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Right. It's a lot of work for two people.
Yes.
And adding a third person, I can only imagine how difficult that could be. Adding another person, and that's another argument you put in your life. I have yes, doctor. I have two stressors, her and her. That's like.
But it's funny that people are really reluctant to have these discussions, but they want to be in relationships.
Right. And again, if you can't have these conversations, you can't be in a relationship. Right? You have to be able to discuss these things. It doesn't make sense. But like I said, people do it all the time, and that's why we have these toxic relationships that don't work, unhealthy. Like I said, people not in love and just being there for whatever reason, because of a lot of communication. God, communication is really important. It is really important.
It is extremely important. Extremely. From the beginning to the end.
Whether you have one or two or three.
And again, the easiest time to have these discussions is right at the beginning.
Absolutely.
You should come in there like, hey, this is all me. What you gonna do? You want it or not?
Right. You know what? True. That is true. Come in as your authentic self, and I think things will be better. Either like I said, either they'll like you or not. You know, I don't think you can lose being your authentic self.
Mm-mm.
You know, you can't lose.
Not at all.
So. Oh man,
All
so we
right,
didn't wrap
girl.
this thing up, right?
Yes,
We didn't talk all about it.
Yes. Thank you for joining us as we talked about relationship titles, and catch us on the replay in where we at, Daryl? Relationship Flow,
Butterfly Love,
Butterfly Love.
YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. And you know, come in through the group and add your questions or comments, because we're always in and out responding. If you have a topic that you want us to cover, let us know. Me, Daryl, Mary, just throw it into the Relationship Flow group and we will bring it. We'll bring it. And if you want to come on to talk about the topic, let us know. We'll invite you in. So thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. Be safe.
Have a good night.